It'll take
Okay.
a minute. And then I'll ask you origin story while I'm sharing the show because I have to do it on my phone too. It's crazy.
Okay.
But we're probably live. I just can't see it yet. So welcome, Miss
Hello.
Ria D. Clark to the show. I'm very excited to have you on finally, since I messed up the first at least one or two of these that we were trying to get together.
That's
Um,
okay.
and I don't know. Did you bring your wine? I didn't put wine and conversation in it, but I certainly,
Well, it's a little
Oh,
early, so I didn't want to
oh, come on,
rely
Ria. We can hang out. Anybody who's got wine and conversation in their tagline has to be able to handle it early. All right. So enough about me while I'm sharing. Tell us a little bit about you and welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me, Ted. I'm just so honored and glad to be on the show. But I'm Ria Clark, of course, and I'm from Sanford, Florida. I actually was raised here in Sanford. I left for a few years, but I left for a few years, went to Washington, D.C., and then I came back. And I always was the type of chick that always liked to drink wine and conversate with my friends.
Love it.
So I decided, I said, you know what? I have a lot of great mentors and I have a lot of great friends. I have best friends. I have my best cousin slash sister. They all gave me like, you need to do something with this. So I decided to create Wine and Conversation. And basically it was just to talk about different topics of things that we go through in our communities. And I always have said if I probably had somewhere to go or a foundation where I could talk about things that I were going through at my younger age, maybe I would have done some things differently. And as a mother with kids, you know, we get so caught, and wives, we get caught up in that life and we forget to have time for ourselves. So Wine and Conversation was designed for mothers, women. You know, you come, you have a glass of wine. I have different topics. I have different speakers. The wine is free. I feed you. I have door prizes. I have vendors, and we all just come there and just take a 3 or 4 hours of your day and just come and be about you, and you enjoy yourself. No husband, no kids, no football, no basketball practice, no grocery shopping. I even came to the point of doing them at 2 o'clock in the middle of the day because, in the same token, that is time for people to still have to go to football practices and have, you know, things that they have to do first thing in the morning. But that time of day, I like for people to come, calm down, chill. We have a DJ. We have all kinds of different events, and it really has blown. It's been really, really successful beyond my measures. I have been doing it for almost 5 years now, and I
I
love it.
love the concept of it, even though as a dude, I'll just watch from afar. But I love the concept of it. I love that you do it in the afternoon. People need that downtime, and sometimes they can't schedule it like around 5 o'clock
Right.
because of, like you said, all of the responsibilities. But
Mm-hmm.
tell me about what topics, because obviously you wanted to have a platform for you to share and for other people to share. So what kind of things were you sharing? And I want to get to our topic at some point because I like
Okay,
this
we will.
question. Are you really living your best life? But I'd like to learn more about like the topics that you talk about and what topics are important to you.
Well, the topics that we've talked about is my skin is beautiful. We deal with a lot of in the community of skin color, you know, the light skin versus the dark skin, and that shouldn't be. We all should be. You know, God made us all different, and He made us that for a unique reason, and we need to embrace ourselves and love the color of our skin. Then I did.
That's
Are you being a good girlfriend to your girlfriend?
that's within the Black community, right? Just explain that a little bit
Well, no,
for people who don't know.
I think it's for all women. My events are for all women of all color, and even I had a young lady who was on there. She was Asian, and it was just amazing how she was telling her story. How because she was a dark Asian, that a lot of her family and friends picked on her, and you know, so it was so cultural and really great to see that we had a lady who was there who was Latino, but she was dark, but you know the she didn't know who she was. She didn't know if she was from the Latino community or if she was from African American, because they just kind of bounced her back and forth of her because of the skin of the color of her skin. And I was just like, wow. So it made me want to reach out more to just women. Now, I do have some functions with men because men, you know, we have to have our men, you know, so I do have different events with men. So my very first one was actually the best, was the great one. It was, are you do you really know what love is? And I had 3 men and I had 3 women, and I needed a cowbell there because those people was on fire.
I
So
love
these
those
are
kinds of panels. That's cool. That's very
yes,
cool.
it was good. And then we had another one, are you being a good girlfriend? Because I'm thinking a lot of us women don't know how to be good girlfriends to our girlfriends. We don't know how to be authentic. We don't know how to be honest without being judged. We just want to say, okay, well, she's my friend. I really don't want to tell her. No, you need to tell your friend if she's not doing something right. But out of love, you have to know how to deliver that to your friend. I even went back to, do you even know what it means? People around here calling people friends and not being friends, or don't know how to be a friend. Or that was really cool. So those are some of the topics that I did. But then comes to, are you living your best life? I came up with that one day because I've been seeing people always say, living my best life, living my best life. And I'm like, okay, so, I want to know, what does that mean? Because living my best life, living my best life is just like having a glass of wine and watching Netflix. That's living my best life at the moment, or, doing some dance. And I like, so I just wanted to see the different perspectives of different people from different ethnic backgrounds and stuff. What does that mean, living your best life? Now, I have a panel of men this time, and their stories are phenomenal. Like, I cannot wait till they come, because I actually interviewed my panel this time because I wanted something spicy. I didn't want people to keep coming and saying the same stuff. When you tend to do things like this, you don't want to be repetitive and want people to know what's going to happen when they come. Because then it starts being, oh, well, she ain't gonna do no but do this and do that, so I ain't gonna go. No, all my events are different. So it's gonna be great.
So I've got so many questions. So talk about the girlfriend part a little bit, because I feel I have a lot of women that come on the show, and one of the things that always comes up, it seems to be just this thing that is in the background, but nobody talks enough about it, is that women tend to talk about empowerment, but they don't tend to support each other. And I'm not saying all women, but there's not as much, they don't feel the support. And why is that? Why does that happen?
I really don't know, Ted, because I come from a background that I want to see everybody win. And especially if you're my friend and you're winning, then that means I'm winning and I can reap the benefits of your winning. We all have different things in life that we were called to do. God provided a purpose for us that we all have something to do. And we're all different in all ways. And it's okay to be able to do your thing, but then you have to give other time for people to shine. Like I tell my friends all the time, the support system that I have are basically my friends and my family who help me get Wine and Conversation going each event. But I always encourage my friends and family, hey, I can be at the table and check people in. I can walk around and pass out t-shirts. I don't have to always be the center of attention, or I don't always have to be about me. I can help and feed into your gift and your purpose. So I don't know. I can't answer that question because I'm not that way. I support anybody. People will tell you. And when I was going through chemo, my husband and my friends, they were like, girl, sit down somewhere. But I just felt so obligated that when I had a friend who was doing stuff, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta support them. They support me. I can't miss this. And so what I started doing was, well, if I can't come, then I try to buy a ticket and support someone else to go, or I'll share your event. I had to start figuring out other ways to support, because I would go to 3 to 4 events a day. I mean, a weekend, yes, like on a Saturday.
I remember.
I remember those days. So I love to see women. I personally want us to, what's the craziest thing I think about all the time? If we women came together, do you know we would be a force to be reckoned with if we had all these entrepreneurial women that came together with their different ideas and, have a big conference and come together and just do things and let everybody see the ability that a woman can do. A woman, to me, being a woman is the best thing for me because I can do it all. I'm a jack of all trades, baby. I can cook, clean, do what I need to do, be a wife, be a mother, work on my business. See, I'm multi-talented. So I don't, but I guess I was raised to never be a jealous person. I've never been a jealous-hearted person. But I always wanted the best for whatever a person had. And if I could be any help to fulfill that purpose for you, I always have opened my door for that. So it's sad because I see it. I see it. I do see it. And the one thing about my friendships and the people that I hang with, we can be open about that. I have one of my best friends. I mean, we literally go off on each other every other day. And then after we finish, it's like, girl, where we going to lunch? It's no,
I hate to say that, but one of the things we talk about, I've talked about this before a little bit on the show, but what you just said about, hey, you kind of go at it and then what are we doing for lunch? Guys in general, from my experience, tend to be like that always. It's like argue and then punch each other in the arm, and then where are we going to get a beer? Like that's our natural. I know we're competitive by spirit, or we're just dudes are competitive, but we tend to let it go. And what I've heard from other women is that women don't tend to let anything go, and that's generalizing, guys. Don't think I'm saying all women are like that, but that's what I have heard.
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
right,
because
so
but I tell people, what I be telling people about is that when you're a friend, friend is a multitude of things. Friend is not, oh, you like blue, I like blue. Oh, we're friends. No, friends is deeper than that. When you consider someone a friend, you're gonna have moments with your friends. Now, with women, we fuss and we may need a couple days from each other because you done got on my nerves so bad, but it's never a point to where I would never not talk to my friends. The people that I consider my friends and my sisters, I could not imagine life without them. We definitely disagree, but I've learned with the friendship thing, it's the growing things. We have to learn that we're not 18 anymore. And once we leave 18, see, my friends I've known since second grade, middle school. I'm 46 years old and I'm still friends with those women. But it was work. But you have to be willing to put in the work, and you have to be willing to accept people for who they are because they went through different things. So their mindsets are different. So they may not agree with everything that you think or want to do. So you have to learn how to agree and disagree. And we fuss and we go back and forth. We might not talk to each other. We might go off on each other. But at the end of the day, I can say if I call any one of my friends and I need something, they're going to be there for me. And that's the type of relationships that I'm building for me.
So what do you do? I love that too. And that's how I think it should always be. And I talk a lot about toxicity on the show and kind of cutting the cord. And so if you're not, what Ria's describing, if you're not in relationships like that and you don't have those kinds of people in your corner, in your circle, you really need to reevaluate, my opinion, and get rid of that stuff because you want what Ria's talking about. You want to have what she's talking about. I think it's so critical, especially in this day and age, which is what I want to talk about next. Tell me what you're doing business-wise and just in general to stay positive, to stay creative.
Well, what's so crazy, I tell people all the time, God is so funny because when I went through chemo, I had to be quarantined. So it was almost like when this came, I was like, God, you is funny because I'm ready for this. I'm ready for quarantine. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't be around people. But what I did was I started going into my goals. I'm a goal-oriented person and I'm a journal writer, very big on that. And what I started doing in this time is I gave myself a schedule. I'm a very, very schedule. I have to be on schedule with everything. I have to have some form of outline in my life. But then I was like, okay, this being quarantine, I can't go anywhere. The grocery store is like my favorite place right now. Like, I got to figure this out. So I gave myself a schedule for every day where there was self-beauty. I'm reading a little more. I've even been exercising, just going outside. I've given myself things to do. I've set myself on a schedule from Monday through Friday, and I put on there what days that I do what. And I actually got so much done around my house. I've actually been able to, feed more into my wine and conversation. I do have a book coming out. So I
A
have
book?
really, yes, a
What
book.
kind of book? What are we writing?
We're writing. It's called "There's a Test in Your Testimony."
I love it.
And it's about just life and choices that we've made, that we have to be content with what our choices once we've done them. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody like, oh, if I can just go back, I would change something. And for me, I wouldn't, because there's so many people in those poor choices and things that I probably didn't make the best decisions with, became lifelong friends. And it was just what I needed to become the woman that I am. I'm very proud of myself. I always used to be hard on myself, but now I'm very proud of who I am and who I'm becoming. I mean, if it was, of course it was some things that I wanted to do, I would, but we have to learn that we're still alive. So we still have time, and that's what we're forgetting. We're thinking, oh, I'm too old. I just said that a couple of years ago. And my sister's like, girl, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm too old to go back to school. But no, we gotta, if God allows us to wake up, what this coronavirus has opened my eyes, that people are dying from this thing, and people are in the hospital for 2 weeks and 14 days. If you do not see that if God has allowed you to be alive in this day and time, it's time to start fulfilling your purpose. God has us on this earth for a purpose. And I feel like because I'm still alive and I'm still breathing, I got work to do. I have stuff to do. And and all my dreams that I have wanted to do, because I was afraid to step out, thinking I wasn't smart enough, I didn't have an education, I didn't know people, I didn't do this. And I'm very well educated, but I didn't graduate from college. I went to college, but I didn't finish. So that's something I'm tussling with. So I'm like, okay, I think that's something that I need to go ahead and do. So there goes my goals. I'm like, okay, I have to give myself dates, and I work towards those dates. And I'm learning for me, that's how I've been able to accomplish I've accomplished a lot of goals that I've wanted to do 20 years ago. Just this year, last year and this year, I just accomplished those.
Where do you get all of this? Because, a lot of people will listen to you and go, well, she's just, she's got this great support system, so of course she can do everything. But what people don't realize is that you can have the best support system in the world, but if you don't have what's in you, where do you get this strength, this tenacity, this resilience?
I get this from life. Just living, just thinking about the things that I could have done and been doing, and I just took my time and just thought I couldn't do it. So I have mentors now. I do believe that I remember I went to this seminar years and years ago. I was living in DC, and the man, I remember him instinctively saying, you have to have 3 types of people in your life. He said, you have to have your family, because you can't help who they are. So that's what you need. Then you need to have people who are smarter than you. Then you have to have people that are on the same level as you. And from that, I've learned that we, as people who are into entrepreneurship and we're into motivating and stuff, we still need people we can talk to. So I've gotten into therapy. Once I found out I had breast cancer, I started going to therapy. And I realized that was the best. Therapy is so amazing. And then I got a coach now. Then I have some mentors who feed it to help me. Because even we feel like we're on top of the world, we still have some insecurities. We still have some. And I have learned from my mentors and my coaches and my therapists that you need those people in your life. Because I have been through a lot in my life, in my young life. And it wasn't because my parents didn't teach me. I knew better. I came from a great background. My parents, thank you, Jesus, are still alive, and they still feed into me and they still support me. But when you get out into the world, you still hear them, but you get so caught up in so many things that's going on in the world. So I'm like, I got to figure this thing out because I can't, I'm such a person who loves to learn. And I'm just so grateful. Breast cancer really did a lot for me. I tell people all the time, it was necessary. Things that we go through in life, I went through oh my God, what happened to me? Why this had to happen to me? I donate to breast cancer. Why did this have to happen to me? But it was so necessary. God brought that thing around back in a circle, honey, that I was like, God, you something else now. And I even got better with my spirituality. I'm doing
Everyone
really well.
I've talked to, Ria, that has been through cancer, going through cancer, says it changed them. The ones who are negative or don't look at it as a lesson, I think are the ones that are least happy with it. But I feel like the ones like you, when you said that, all I could think about was, see, there's power in it. There's power in reframing it. There's power in looking at the positive. And it can make such a dramatic change because I think it gives you this whole new perspective. First of all, you're facing your mortality probably for the first time. And then when you're facing your mortality, you think, holy God, I have so much to get done. I have so much to do. There's so much I can do with my gift.
Yes.
But I love that. I think that's so cool. I think that's really cool.
And I tell people like I was telling a friend of one of my best friends, I was telling her one day I just had a moment and I was in my car and I was coming from chemo and I was in so much, pain and you get so sick and things of that nature. And I told her, I said, I just, all through life, I thought I never get it. I said, I never get the best of nothing. Nothing ever good happens to me. I always get the short end of the stick and I'm always helping people and I always love people and nothing ever happens good for me. I always used to feel that way for years. And when I got breast cancer, when I tell you, Ted, people from all over the world that were my friends, that were my sisters, they showed me so much love. And in that moment, I could do nothing but cry because God basically, to me, that was, see, I told you I would never forget about you. I have Amazon trucks, UPS trucks coming every day. I have money being sent to me. I had people buying me all kinds of things. My house was so full of flowers and stuff. But I was like, what in the world? And it just brought me back to...
I like this. I want everyone watching. I just got diagnosed. Amazon trucks are great. Flowers, booze, White Claw. Listen, I'm not above that little trainload of truck good stuff coming my way. No, but I know what you mean. You all of a sudden receive all of this love and you go, okay, I get it. Like, okay.
Yes.
I get it. There's a clear message there that's supposed to come to me as very powerful.
Oh my God. And when I think about it now, I get chills because
me too.
I promise you, I thought about that. I went through that for years. And I was like, I would see things would happen with people and I'd be like, dang, nothing ever happens good for me. So when I got cancer, I remember telling my sister, I was like, see, I told you, look, I got cancer. Don't nothing ever happens good for me. Look at it. I'm the only woman in my family on both sides. Only one got breast cancer. See what I'm saying? And my sister was like, don't think like that. But then when I wasn't going to share it, but then I can't keep nothing from my best friend. So I was like, okay, let me just tell. And when I tell you, I received so much love and I was like, God, I got it. And I remember sitting in my car talking to my friend. She was like, yeah, I told you. And I was like, and I just could never figure it out. And all the dots started connecting in my head. And my therapist was like, you have to understand how the world works in order to be able to be receptive of everything. And I was just like, okay. So I threw my hands up and I let everybody do whatever they want to do for me. And I was like, no, it's fine.
I love
give that to somebody who need it. I don't need that. I'm fine, because I was in a good place when it happened. I mean, my parents were helping me. My spouse was helping me. My children came. And my friends. So I didn't want to be greedy. You know, I didn't want to just be taking stuff from people when I know being in this group now that I know a lot of people who didn't have that. So I didn't want to seem greedy and be like, and I didn't want to, no, I don't need that. I'm okay. I have that. Or no. My God said, you better take all that.
You're going to take it.
All that.
All right. So how do people, first of all, you're a joy. This has been fun and enlightening and just so many positive things. I want people to be able to reach out to you. I want them to be able to learn more about Wine and Conversation. Tell them how they can reach you.
Well, they can reach me at www.wineandconversation.org. That's my website. You can go on there and you can see all the pictures. You can see all the events that are coming up. My event for Are You Living Your Best Life? Living Your Best Life, Are You Really? I had to postpone that to September 19th, of course, because of the coronavirus. But basically that for me, a lot of these events, I talk to my volunteers and I ask them, you know, hey, what do you think? And I came up with Living Your Best Life, Are You Really? Because people are living through Facebook. And I don't want people to live like that because everything in Facebook is not what it seems. I want you to be authentically to you and what you feel living your best life is. It's not, and what I'm trying to make people understand, it's not about taking trips. It's not about, you know, doing all these elaborate things that are people doing. It's about what do you want to live your best life. Focus on what you want for you, your family, you know, your friends. What would be so that's what the end result will be. When they leave here, I have some of the most powerful speakers that are coming that are just gonna blow your mind. Because when I hear their stories, I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's basically, people have not always been able to live their best life. People had to get to that point to live their best life. Right. And that's what I want people to understand. It's phases. Because if you are a person who has dreams that you want to accomplish, those dreams are not far-fetched. You can get them, but you got to work towards them. And that's what I want people to understand when they seeing people like yourself. I read up on you and I seen how you changed a vision and a dream. Now you have your own TV show, but I'm sure it wasn't easy. And that's what people are forgetting. Quit wanting what everybody else have because you don't know their story. You don't know what they went through. So that's what I want living your best life. Are you really to be? Quit wanting and dreaming. It's okay to say, oh, when you see somebody going to Hawaii, you say, oh yeah, I want to go there one day. No, that's not what I'm talking about because people still want to do things. But I'm talking about when you're just wanting someone's life and you just like, oh, I really want to do. No, honey. God gave you your own life. You put into yourself what you want for your life and then you work towards it. Nothing, if we got everything easy, we wouldn't be appreciative of it. We would be ungrateful. Because I tell people all the time, I'm a daddy's girl and I can pretty much get what I want. So I had to learn the hard way. Because daddy was like, honey, you got to grow up. So now, I mean, it was just a lesson for me. But I always been a go-getter. I always been a person who had all these great ideas. But my problem was I never could execute them. And that's what I had to learn when I came up with dates. Now, I would have all these dreams and I tell my mom and dad, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then they would ask me 2 months later, girl, what happened to this? And I'd be like, oh, I decided to do something else. And then my mom and dad would be like, see, that's what we're talking about. you
learned how to figure that out. And we're out of time, so I feel bad, but I want so much for everyone to get to know Ria Clark. She's amazing. wineandconversation.org. Look for her next event. And honestly, I'm going to throw it out there. If you want to do a remote one on my platform, you're welcome to throw up one. I would love to do a Wine and Conversation on the TED Show. I think that would be fun. I won't have to say much, which is awesome. I'm just going to let go and let Ria do what she does. But you're an absolute joy. Thank you so much for being on the show, Ria. I appreciate
Thank you so much for having me. This was really great. Thank you so much.
Wow. All right. Y'all reach out to Ria Clark. Thanks, Ria.
Have a good day.
Y'all have a great day.